Hi, welcome to Blade and Brush. I'm Mike, your wet shaver, back with another video and a shave because I need it. So it's the weekend, and I had my doctor's appointment yesterday on the 20th of March for what I thought was going to be a biopsy from my lung for the nodule in it, and it turns out no, it's too small to do that. The emergency room doctors at Cleveland Clinic I saw back in November. As it turns out, didn't know what they were talking about because for nodules that small, you don't actually do a biopsy like that. You have to wait at least a year, see if there's any growth. So basically, I'm scheduled to go back in December to the doctors to get a CT scan and see if there's any growth. If not, then no need to worry for the time being. But if there is, then they'll worry about it. So yeah, but I did manage to meet a friend of mine coming in as I was waiting for the Uber to go back because I was done with my appointment. I had eaten some breakfast. And interestingly enough, the cafeteria lobby or whatever it's called inside the center, because this was in like Beechwood, Ohio. And so I went to get some food out of the fresh food vending machine. All right. And it's one of these fancy numbers where like you plug in like which ones you want into the screen, and then it'll get those and deposit them in this tray, which is supposed to then rise up and then deposit them in this area where you can go ahead and get them out. Well, it turns out, no, it did not rise up quite that far. It was stuck just below it, so I had to kind of reach in and twist it, and I got all of them. But there were like 3 turkey sandwiches and a chicken wrap from some previous purchaser who got frustrated and left without it. And I would have taken it, but you know what? I have no idea how long these have been there, so I'm not chancing it. Because these are items that need to be refrigerated. So yeah, I did get my items and I ate before getting picked up. But a friend of mine was coming up with her kids as I was waiting for the Uber to get back home. So that was a pleasant surprise. And then after I rested up for a couple of hours, I went ahead and went downtown to the Asian market, picked up some groceries. I got about 20 duck eggs because that was the smallest they came in. So I'm going to be using those to bake a batch of Easter babka, which is a Polish sweetbread. I like duck eggs for baking because it just makes the food so much fluffier and richer. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of an indulgence. But yeah, so I picked that up along with some beverages. And then also for dinner, I grilled up some hamburgers. Broke out my grill since it's a spring equinox. I decided, okay, I'm going to do my first grilling of the year. So that was tasty. So I had like 4 hamburgers, put some Gouda cheese slices on all of them. So I ate 2 yesterday. I had 1 for lunch today. I'll have the last one tomorrow. But yeah, that was a treat. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going to shave today at some point since it's already almost 4 minutes in. Yeah, so today I wasn't really feeling up to my best. Just back issues and everything. I had to take my gabapentin, so that's working slowly. So I'm moving a little bit more slowly than usual, that's why. And I already move slowly because of issues with my connective tissue. So yeah, that's pretty slow. Alright, so as you saw on the thumbnail, today I'm using Stirling Port-au-Prince, which is a sheep-based soap. And that is Haitian vetiver and lemongrass scented. Very pleasant in my opinion. As you can see, I've got to replace this pretty soon, but we'll see if I have the money or not. I try not to spend money unnecessarily unless I have to, because it is getting down to the wire where I'm trying to stick to my moving deadline of May, and it's already almost April, so yeah, I can't afford to spend too much money. But yeah, Stirling produces some very good soaps, and especially like their sheep tallow. Of course, they also use lanolin, otherwise known as wool fat, for added slickness. Alright, so as you saw from the thumbnail, I'm using the Twig by Leaf. This is the Spruce color. This was released, I believe last year, or maybe the year before. I think it was last year, but yeah, you can see it a little bit better on the site without all the decorations in the background. But yeah, so it is a one-piece razor. Yeah, it's got this way, and then you put in the half blade. So leaf razors are kind of a nice gimmick on the cartridge razor phenomenon, and a single edge razor. This basically is the equivalent of a single edge razor from back in the day. But it also has the regular leaf razor, which used to have 3 blades, much like the Gillette Mach 3, and then there was the leaf thorn, which operates with 2 blades. And then for some reason, I don't know why, but Leaf went ahead and reformatted its regular razor to a version that is only with 2 razor blades that you put in. I don't know why, but oh well. But yeah, so yeah, this is a Spruce line that came out for, it was either Earth Day or Arbor Day anniversary, I forget which. But yeah, they had a whole line dedicated to this, like the entire thing, like the 3 razors, a soap line, the stand which it came with right here, yeah, and then also the planer razor. This is my first time using this, period. Not just on the channel. So yeah, the other day I used the R41 for the first time, but now I'm breaking in my Leaf Twig. This morning I woke up all in pain, which is not pleasant. Gabapentin's finally starting kicking in, but I didn't get up until like after 1 o'clock. Because that thing will put you to sleep too. But then again, my body kind of needed it, because in order to be ready for the Uber ride to pick me up to take me yesterday to the doctor's office, because the appointment was for like 8 a.m. And so I got provider ride from my health carrier. I had to be up at like 5:30 in the morning, which necessitated losing sleep, because my aunt tends to keep the TV on until like 1 or 2 in the morning. Sometimes 3-ish. And that already doesn't do well for my sleep cycle. Basically, she'll just fall asleep in front of the TV and then get up and go to bed. But in the meantime, I end up lying awake. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So it's doing a surprisingly efficient job, by the way. The Leaf's gimmick is that you take a regular double-edged razor blade, you snap it in half along the length, and then load it into the razor. Although Leaf does sell its own pre-broken blades. One of which I'm using now. Fortunately, I have some sick days. Yeah, getting older sucks. Especially if you've got existing injuries. I think I may have mentioned this before, but the discs in my neck are all herniated, with C6 and C7 being the worst. And when one or both of the nerve clusters that branch off into my arms gets pinched, let me put it to you this way. I can think of few agonies that are worse. All right, so that's pass number 1 done. But in retrospect, I probably should have just stayed home and rested after my doctor's appointment, because, yeah, the weather has been like a yo-yo. Started off a bit on the cold side, then went a little bit warmer, which is why I was able to do some grilling out on the back deck. And then I woke up at cold again, really cold. So yeah, the whole jet stream is breaking down. It used to be rather stable, but with global warming kicking in, it is destabilized, and now you've got, instead of a more or less straight line along, it's either latitude or longitude. I forget which one goes this way, but It used to go more or less along that way, but now there's like huge dips and bulges. So even though uh, we should be in springtime, but we're still getting some winter temperatures. But in the meantime, places like the West Coast start getting in excess of 100-degree weather and all sorts of problems that go with that. All right, so let's try across a grain. Yeah, the leaf twig is a very nice mild razor, by the way. You definitely don't want to skip a day with this when shaving. I was lucky to get a hold of this because the Spruce line was limited run. It's anybody's guess when or if it'll make another appearance. I think I might have nicked myself right here. Yep, there it is. Yeah, just goes to show, respect the tools and they will not hurt you. If you don't respect the tools, then they will hurt you. So don't get careless. And that's it for the 3 main passes. Now I'm just going to do some touch-ups in the usual spots. It's actually not too bad. And in terms of the touch-ups, I don't need to do them too badly. I can see why this is so popular with so many shavers, although I can't understand also why people would prefer the more aggressive razors to the Twig. It's like I said, as a daily shaver, so you don't want to skip a day. I've actually gone a day and a half in between shaves. Yeah, I'm definitely going to feel the burn when I apply my aftershave, going over it as many times as I am. And quitting while I'm ahead. Because while I am not opposed to getting a little bit of burn when applying aftershave, I don't like pushing it. Alright, to start us off, we'll do the witch hazel and aftershave. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it with the witch hazel and alum. Which means the Arctic properties of the glacial menthol aftershave are definitely going to kick in. Some guys can't handle menthol that intense. I can. Yeah, that's basically my health update from yesterday. And as far as the duck eggs go from the Asian market, I had to ask the checkout person if they were balut eggs or not, because yeah, they do have balut eggs. If you don't know what those are eggs that have been fertilized and partly developed into duck or chicken embryos before being cultivated. And they're a delicacy in the Philippines and some other parts of Southeast Asia. So, yeah, I found that out the hard way years ago. It was like, I think 2016, 2017, something like that. Not that I won't ever try them, but yeah, that's not what I was looking for. Because like I said, I do like using duck eggs in baking, which is why I got so many. Because the full batch of babka for my recipe requires 15 egg yolks, so out of 20, I'll have like 5 eggs remaining. And then I'll just take the egg whites and use them to make cake, specifically angel food cake. All right. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm barely getting any menthol effect at all. I thought it would be getting, quite a burn and followed by the menthol blast, but no, apparently my skin was not as irritated as I thought it would be, which is good. I am feeling some menthol effect, but just not a whole lot. Typically, the more irritated your skin is, the more intense the effect will be. All right, so now is the moment where we finish off this shave with the companion post-shave balm to re-moisturize the skin. And then any excess I can apply to the back of my hands. I'll re-moisturize those. Because if you're the type who washes your hands a lot, because you work in restaurant industry, you have to keep them clean. Then, yeah, your hands can get pretty dry, especially during winter. When the humidity drops. All right, so today's shave was with the Twig by Leaf Spruce color, limited edition. And then Stirling Porter Prince, Haitian vetiver, and lemongrass. Yeah, very nice clean spring scent. And that's it for today's shave. So, please do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a video. Until next time, this is Mike for Blade and Brush, signing off.